Sure.
Oh, I didn't put the banner. So, just a minute. So, hello guys, and welcome back to another video in our channel. And have a guest here. But before I even introduce my guest, I would like to introduce you to our discussion today. So, our discussion today is about the Chelsea previous game, that is the Chelsea game against Brighton, as well as the Chelsea performance in that game. And also, we are previewing the Chelsea Bayern Munich fixture, because I think that is also going to be an interesting fixture when you look at it, because Chelsea were in a position where they were supposed to actually win. I have done that analysis, but I will actually produce that video after this live stream, because I know it's quite problematic to actually have a video out while doing a live stream. So the overall performance actually indicates one thing, that Chelsea are really lacking in terms of squad depth. I've really analyzed that game and I've realized that it wasn't so much so with regards to Maresca's overall system, but the squad depth that Chelsea actually have is where the problem is actually at, because the depth is not quite great to actually support Chelsea. And I would like to hear if all of you are able to hear me. If you can please share your comments. Just a minute. If you can share your comments and actually indicate whether you're able to hear me perfectly. If you are in the live stream, you can tell me if you're able to hear me well, so that we can proceed.
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay. So what I was saying is that, what do you think about the bottling for the Brentford game? Because to me, when I have analyzed that game and I've actually prepared that video, I am seeing that the way Maresca, the personnel of the players that he used was the problem. Because in my opinion, Hato cannot play the Marco Kurela role. And when you're actually having Hato to be one of your most advanced players, sometimes it's actually even giving a problem to a player like Gittens.
I think so as well. I mean, looking at that lineup going into that game is really not convincing, especially when you compare our squad depth to the squad depth of teams like Arsenal. To be honest, I'd say they recruited a lot better than we did this year. Um, Hato, yeah, I don't like Hato being very high up the pitch. He looks like he's someone who can pass the ball decently. He looks like someone who's fast. So I think that's something we could utilize instead, kind of how like Man City use Walker to just shut down one side of the pitch, limiting opponents to the other side. I think that's something we have to do. And lacking personnel, I kind of agree. Because, like, as much as I hate saying it, but like having Madueke as a winger option wasn't the worst thing in the world. But now your left side is filled with like Gittins and Garnacho. I don't know how much confidence that fills me up with. And in the midfield, I'm just wondering how many more games are Enzo and Caicedo also gonna play? Because they play today, they'll probably play midweek against Bayern, and then they'll probably play against United. So like, I don't know, to be honest. We look like we're one Caicedo injury away from a crisis. For that Brentford game, to be honest, I think I don't even know if it's mentality. I think first of all, the goal was offside, right? Like I think we even discussed this in the chat. It was basically offside.
Yeah.
And the second goal, to be honest, I'm gonna put that on Garnacho a little bit. The marking, yes, was poor. Everybody's in one side of the pitch. I don't know why there's no one on the back post. Literally, James also, I don't know, he left his man or something. By the end of the day, I think Garnacho is just gone to sleep, man. And we talked about attitude issues with Garnacho. It looks like it's showing. But from a tactical analysis, I haven't not too aware. I'm guessing you could give a better perspective on that.
Yeah, and when you're also looking at that game, despite the offside goal, which I think that despite the offside goal, we also had an opportunity that Palmer could have scored. But the question that I have with Maresca is the way he set his team up in the first half. Like you cannot have four centre backs starting in that back line. You cannot have four centre backs. And if you choose to have four centre backs, then it means that one centre back should come into deeper regions of midfield, not higher up the pitch. Like if Maresca wanted to have one fullback who's advancing and he wanted to protect Rhys James, you see, the moment Rhys James came in, you could see the difference that Rhys James offers when he comes into midfield and the difference that Hato offers. Because when Hato played, he was completely out of the game throughout the first half because he does not play as an advanced center back, as an advanced fullback. And this is one problem that Maresca also did last season with Viega. There's a reason why Viega left Chelsea, and he actually played with Viega. And the reason why he chose to leave Chelsea was because of Viega is a centre back. He's being played as a left back. Then he's being told to invert. Then he's being told to attack higher up the pitch. It's like you're expecting a player like Fofana to play the way Gusto will play or the way Cucurella is going to play. And these are some of the problems that Maresca actually self-inflicted. Like, in my opinion, if he was going with that, he wanted to go with that back four, then he should have chosen that, am I going to start Hato or am I going to actually start Gusto? In my opinion, if he decided to play Hato, Tosin, and Chaloba, or Hato, Tosin, and Fofana, then he could have played Gusto because Gusto is way better going forward. So he could play Gusto forward, push Gusto a little bit higher to help Pedro Neto, then have Enzo help Gittens down the left, then have Caicedo in the middle, and then have Hato, Tosin, and Chaloba and Fofana as the back three. I think Hato would have played way better when he played as part of that backline. But the moment he chose to push Hato forward and actually try to use Hato as more of an advanced attacking fullback, similar to the way he uses Kukurea, I think that is where Maresca lost the plot because now you're having an ultra defensive player playing in advanced areas of the pitch. Now, even when you have Hato there, if I'm the Brentford centre back, I'm not going to step out to cover Hato because I know if he receives the ball, the only thing is he will do is make a safe pass to Gittens, make a safe pass back to Chaloba, or make a safe pass to Caicedo. There's no threat that he's actually going to offer from that position. But compare that with when Palmer came on. You started to see how he disoriented that left side. That's what you get. I think Bonanote played well, but Bonanote was not playing with the runners because also João Pedro is a player who likes to come deep. But if Bonanote had a player like Delap making runs, then I think you could have actually seen the best out of him. That is one player who I can say that slightly impressed me in his debut.
I agree. I mean, and the selection even makes you question things more when you realize we're playing a very bad Brentford team. This isn't the same Brentford team of the past few years. They've been in terrible form. They've lost their best players and their manager. So to play with like four center backs doesn't make sense. I get that Brentford are a tall team and we might need height, but I think three center backs should be enough. And I think what puzzles me, I don't know if Maresca saw something in training, but like Hato was never known as this overlapping, strong, pacey fullback. He was always known as a left back that can stay solid in a back three. He can pass the ball. He can play good in a possession-oriented system, which is what suits Maresca's style. And I completely agree with you. I think we should have had one attacking fullback at least in that game. And to be honest, despite that, I still think we were the better team. Yes, we didn't get the 3 points. Um, but I don't know, to be honest. And I also don't like the idea of trying to play for Fofana at right back because yes, he's fast, but like every time I watch Fofana, I don't get the same calmness that I get when I watch other defenders on the ball. Like when you see Tosin, Chalaba, like they're integrating to the system. They're not gonna panic. When I see Fofana on the ball, sometimes I'm just there like I don't exactly know what's gonna happen. He looks like his feet are on fire sometimes, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think Bonanotte did have a good game, and I was really surprised when he came off. I think Gittins was absolutely horrible. I don't know why he stayed on the pitch. Bonanotte or Palmer could have been moved to the wings, and that we would have had more creativity with Pedro Neto being free now to even run because there's not more stress on him to create because we already have Palmer and Bonanotti together creating chances. And then Pedro, I don't know, even Pedro, man, he looks like he plays better as a 10. So we essentially don't even have a striker now when you think about it. And that kind of makes you question more about how our system will play out with Estevao. Are we going to play Palmer on the right, Pedro in the 10, Neto on the left? Then who's going to be the striker? Are we going to put Tariq George there? It's just, I feel like the squad is very mismatched a little bit.
Hmm. I think okay, I do get your opinion on that, but I think that Maresca got it wrong with the ultra defensive lineup. But in my opinion, I still maintain he should have started one of Rhys James or Gusto. If you are choosing to play with one conservative fullback who is not known to actually play well when he advances high up the pitch, then it would have been prudent if Maresca actually played Gusto. Because if he played Gusto, then you automatically know that Enzo is moving towards the left. And when Enzo moves towards the left, as much as we want to attack Gittens and say the way Gittens is awful, Gittens is this, but look at Gittens. He's a winger. Who's underlapping him? Who's looking to overlap him? Who's looking to actually link up with him? But if you play a player like Fernandez down that left side, then you get that Fernandez actually opens a threat down the left. He can slip in with the ball. He can look to have that 1-2 with Gittens. But Gittens didn't have anyone because Hato will not occupy those positions. Again, if Maresca also decided that, okay, let Fernandez start down the right, and then now you push Bonanote towards the left, I think Bonanote would have also done quite well with Gittens because there's this point where Bonanote got the ball. He played a sublime cutback to João Pedro, which João Pedro, I think, by his quality, he should have scored that. Actually, giving Bonanote his debut assist, but he was unable. But if Maresca decided to just use Gusto in that game, I think Chelsea would have had a chance. But with the looking at things, it looks like he wants to play Gusto against Bayern. But even if you want to play Gusto against Bayern, then why didn't you start Rhys James? Why didn't you give Rhys James that opportunity to actually start that game? Those are some of the questions that I ask myself with regards to the lineup. Looking at the scoring, Palmer again comes back to the team. You realize how important he is. And you see Rhys James, you see Cucurella. Now, a lot of fans are saying, and you have raised the question about Noni Madueke. Personally, I did not sanction that sale. I did not sanction the sale of Madueke. I always thought that he was a good player to actually stay. I thought him playing down the left was way better compared to what Gittens is offering us. And I really wanted to see Noni Madueke actually featuring for Chelsea for a long time. But I don't know what the club decided to actually sell Madueke for. They went and splashed 55 million for Gittens, who I said that he's quite raw. But he has a potential to be actually a standout player. But what can we say? But the opinion here is that the club and the sporting directors are now finding themselves that despite spending all the amount of money they have, Chelsea still do not have that strong depth to actually create something, to actually improve something. Can you imagine if we didn't sell Keenan Dewsbury Hall? Dewsbury Hall would be very good for this team. Look at what he's doing at Everton. And Dewsbury Hall was one of the best finishers. Last season, he was scoring goals that were good. I don't know why Maresca decided that let's sell Dewsbury Hall,
And he was also his best player at Leicester as well. I don't know why he did that. He was a good squad player to have around, to be honest.
especially when you're having all these games. Especially when
Oh
you're
yeah,
having all these games. It was a bad decision by Chelsea to actually sell Dewsbury Hall. Bad decision for selling Noni Madueke. Those are players that we actually built. Those are players that we saw them improve. What was the point of selling Viega and getting Hato? No, you don't
yeah.
understand what the sporting directors are actually doing.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, if look, I'll be real. If I got like 52 or 55 million from Madueke, I'm taking it, right? Like, I'm selling him. But at least find an adequate replacement. I don't know why they went and got a worse winger. Go to look for someone proven, someone who's, I don't know, someone who's just popping off a little bit more. Like why don't you? Okay, why don't you get Iliman Jai from Everton? I would have been more excited about that signing than I would have been with Gittins. That's just a rough example, but I'm sure there were better wingers out there. So that doesn't make sense to me. If and the selling of Dewsbury Hall, like we bought him for 30 million. We're not even gonna get that big of a profit. You'd rather just keep him. Madrick, I get it, but then find like with that money, you should be spending it wisely. I feel like our selling is good, but it's like we're bringing in like whoever we're buying. That makes the sales look bad sometimes because we're not replacing players well. We're just buying. I remember someone saying Chelsea are really good at buying players that are like 78 or 80 rated in FIFA, and that's actually true. I can't even lie. Like those players that are just they're okay. They're not good. Like when you look at Garnacho, you don't say he's bad, but you're like he's okay. Why are we getting him to start though? Gittins as well. Like he's too young. I feel like I don't know. This board has some type of allergy to signing big star names, and I think it speaks about their expectations. I think they're expecting to win the title in 2026 when some of our big players come back, like Henry Paez, Kenda. Who else? Who's the other center back? We had Mamadou Sarr.
But again, those players that they are buying them to sell them. And we might actually get ourselves in a position where Arsenal were, where top four was everything. You just get top four to ensure that we are financially solid, but there's no ambition because you cannot tell me that you are selling Noni so that you can get Estevao. Yes, Estevao is a good player, but Noni has now 3 years experience in the Premier League. He understands the Premier League. So you sell him. You have Dewsbury Hall, who's a professional, who's a very good player, then you sell him to Everton. And now you see him at Everton, he's starting week in, week out. But we need Dewsbury Hall. We could have needed Dewsbury Hall against Brentford. He would have popped in with a goal, he would have popped in with an assist. Those are things that he actually offers. And what are we actually saying with in terms of recruitment? I think I have to introduce Christian because he always talks about this shiny toys narrative at Chelsea.
Already, I haven't said hello and you throw me under the bus. Thank you very much. And what's wrong with you? But so is this an official Tyrone Talks football therapy session?
Yeah.
So who was to blame? I've been listening nicely, but it doesn't seem to be there's no scapegoat. That's because Jackson's not there to blame. So you guys are struggling to find something to blame. You always find Jackson. But now he's not there because you threw him away. And now way we needed him. Exactly in this game, you could see that Jackson was missing. Exactly that fighter, that one who's going to do all that running and all that. Because we didn't see that. We had lightweights up front. We had that guy. You guys love him so much, the Brazilian. What's his name? The goal scorer.
Joe Pedro.
Joao Pedro.
Gano Pedro and the other guy there, Kittens. They're both just not for this game. This game where the buses parked, they just were not. I don't know. Maybe it just felt like the whole Chelsea team mentally was not there. They just felt like their minds were somewhere else. They felt like they were maybe Bayern München or somewhere. And it was only at halftime. I think the manager must have spoken very harshly, and told woken these guys up. And because we saw a completely different, we saw the normal Chelsea in the second half. They should have won that game easy in the second half. But your friend Palmer. Yes, he scored. Yes, okay. The first time, 17 games, open play. But he also had a few chances there. And Chelsea was by far the better team. But as you know, if you don't take your chances in football, it takes one lucky punch. And as you know, Chelsea, most people, there's an expression, about 60-minute man, which is basically related to wrestling and related with sexual prowesses in the bed. They say I can go 60 minutes in the bed. Now, football's a 90-minute game, but according to Chelsea, it's only 85 minutes because we always concede the last 5 minutes. And this is a mentality thing, weak mentality, crap mindset, and there's something wrong. Since the last 5 years, how often have we conceded the last 5 minutes? Always 5 minutes or even extra injury time. Instead of saying, you know what, Maresca is saying, boys, you know what, we will swallow our pride. We're going to park the bus. Okay, we don't need to play. We're leading. We just play, kick the ball to the outside of the stadium, whatever. You don't have to keep passing. You don't have to play polished until the 95 minutes or anything. No, the last 10 minutes, if you're in the lead, do a Jose, do a Conte.
And then you also move the ball towards the corner post and play that silly drill where you kick the ball towards them, then you get a throwing. The game management wasn't good.
It's just dark arts. I think the Arsenal dark arts is what maybe Chelsea is missing in the final minutes of the game, because that game, it is pathetic to throw it away throw away 2 points to let's be honest, that Brentford team was not very good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't very good either. It was, Chelsea should not be dropping points against them. Then again, I watched Liverpool versus Burnley, and Liverpool was so unbelievably lucky. This is the ridiculous lady luck they have. 3 minutes.
Sometimes you probably need the league. You need luck to win the league, because, in my opinion, Liverpool have won 3 games through luck: the Arsenal game, the Newcastle game, and the Burnley game, all through luck.
Look at Chelsea. Last time we won the league under Antonio Conte, how many games did we have crazy luck? Same thing. We had that luck. We had that mojo, whatever. Some games where we were horrible, lousy, still won the game. And that is the kind of luck you need sometimes in football if you're going to be champions. But, also, luck is something you also have to create it yourself. Luck doesn't just fall out of the sky by itself. You've got to work hard for it. You've got to believe in it. You've got to, you've got to keep at it. And luck will come your way. But if you're going to be lazy, if you're not going to be there with the program, and you're just going to be sort of like you're mentally not there, then luck doesn't come your way. It doesn't matter whether it's football, whether it's life or business or whatever. You've got to work hard at the end of the day. Sorry, it's raining like crazy. I'm driving.
It's also raining here.
Okay, wow. But it's like, okay, whatever. But, well, so sorry. So it's very dark, it's raining, very windy, and driving a motor vehicle. I don't know if you can even hear me because the noise is quite loud.
I can hear you. We can hear you.
And how was Malaysia? It's nice and sunny.
I mean, I don't like the sun. I like the rain. I'm tired of the sun, so it's raining a bit. I kind of like it. The weather suits the vibe, though, of the live stream. We're all in a dark, moody mood.
I'm a dark. Football can't make me. Football can never make me in a bad mood. I'm too old for that. There's more important things in life than football. Your family is most important. Let's be honest. Football. If football is going to get you depressed, then really you have to ask questions. Football is entertainment. These guys are paid well overpaid to entertain us. Not always. We don't always get value for our money, but at the end of the day, I always laugh when people say, but we spent 50 million. No, you didn't spend 50 million on a player. Todd Bowley did. It's not your money. I always laugh at that expression.
But Christian, people actually are buying tickets. People are watching Chelsea. Chelsea are getting money through TV rights. We are buying kits. So that is
we're the ones funding the whole thing.
Yeah. The entertainment is only sustainable if you have customers.
That's true. Excellent point. If the fans stop watching TV, especially watching games on TV, that TV revenue will drop drastically, which will mean the teams don't have that budget for transfers, so they can't pay the big bucks and what have you. Then the quality of the team goes. Yeah, that's just how it works. And sometimes these TV companies they keep putting up the price, putting up the price. They want more money, and at some point, the fans are going to say, this is too much. I can't, and I won't pay this. And you can see, well, didn't they just recently, was it FBI or whoever it was, all these illegal streaming sites, which they took down. I don't know if you read about this. Uh, Many. There was about 20 or 30 illegal streaming sites where people didn't want to pay the proper subscription to the TV channel, so they're watching games for I wouldn't say free. I think you have to pay as well, but not nowhere near. And then now all these sites have been closed. I don't know where people are watching football if all the illegal streaming sites have been closed.
Yeah, people always find a way to get this thing. And I wanted to, there's something that I was talking about with Mehdi before you actually came in. And I was telling him that Maresca made a poor decision when he selected his lineup, especially the right back. Because in my opinion, I thought that if he was playing Hato, Tosin and Fofana, then he should have at least played one fullback who's more who attacks more, like a Gusto. He should have started Gusto if
No,
he wanted to play.
he should have played Achimpong. That's true that he should have had the Achimpong, Chalobah should have been in the heart of the defense.
There's no problem about Achimpong. What I'm
He's a good
saying
player.
is,
Man, I'm just saying because I was listening to you. I was listening to the beginning, and what you're saying is 1,000% correct. It's correct what you're saying. But I personally would have played. If I was going to play that Haito, whatever his name was, left, then I would have going to play definitely. I need speed. I'll play Achimpong and I play Chalobah. Then I'll play. Then
Gusto.
you can put it. Not Gusto. I'll still play Fofana. Fofana needs minutes. He desperately needs minutes.
Okay.
So you play him in a game like this. So he's not under so much pressure. So he gets 3 minutes, and he starts to develop his form. And by the way, you're asking why didn't he substitute Gittins before at halftime? But I'll tell you exactly why he didn't substitute Gittins at halftime. If he had substituted him at halftime, you then destroy the guy's confidence. You destroy the young man there. He needs confidence. You can't just take him off at halftime. This is like a signal to him that you're not good enough, whatever. By leaving him on is like the manager showing faith. I believe in you. Go out there, do your thing. I'm not going to humiliate you or substitute you, even though the likes of you and me, we knew that he should have been gone after 20 minutes. But you can't do that to a young guy. You've got to let him stay in there. Let him make his mistakes. Let him learn the hard way, and he'll develop. Madueke, when he first came to Chelsea, he was exactly the same like Gittins. He was quite useless, let's be honest. But he was given a lot of minutes, a lot of time. And look at Madueke now. With you guys, I heard you crying there. No, but why did we sell Madueke? Because he's playing so well for Arsenal. I told you. You guys were no. Madueke is not good enough. He's not good enough. I told you. Madueke, Jackson, another one. But you guys, you always want new shiny toys. And new shiny toys, especially if they're made in somewhere. I won't mention any country names, but they don't last very long, and they break, and they get boring as well. So stick with what you have. The grass is not green on the other side.
Christian, I say I didn't sanction the sale of Madueke. I didn't sanction the sale of Madueke, the sale of Dewsbury Hall. If you hold me accountable to Jackson, I will say, okay, I'm at fault at Jackson. But the two, I did not sanction the sale. I did not even sanction the sale of Gittins. I was like, my player of choice was Kudus. I always said we could get Kudus to that position.
I have a proposal for you. Sorry to interrupt you. Would you, in the situation we are in now, would you recall Sterling from the bomb squad?
Hell no.
No.
What do you mean, hell no? At least he can dribble. At least he knows how to dribble.
Sterling can dribble, bro. He looks like he's going to dribble into a pole, bro. What?
I think Sterling is done. Looking at his age, I
Yeah,
don't think he can keep up. And even to solidify these claims, you saw the way he was so terrible in Arsenal. Even Arteta didn't give him opportunities at Arsenal.
But it happens. So everybody goes from Chelsea. Arsenal doesn't really do very well when they go there. The only
He's
last one. Yeah?
he's 30 years old. I think Sterling can flourish if he plays for an Everton or a West Ham. He plays for these lower teams, but at the highest level, a team like Chelsea, I don't think he has the legs to even track back. I don't think so.
But I mean, if you ask me, Sterling versus Gittins, I'm taking Sterling any given day because I
No,
know
but
Sterling.
you have said that we need to develop Gittens. How are we going to develop him if we are taking his minutes and handing them to
Yeah,
Sterling?
but maybe he's not ready. Maybe he needs to go to Strasbourg to develop there first, and then he can come and develop in the Chelsea team. Because I just what I'm seeing there is not. I don't know what's happened there, but as I said, you can look good in the German Bundesliga, but when you come to the Premier League, it humbles you very quickly. And but he's obviously his heart is in the right place. But I just don't know. Does he have the technique? I haven't actually seen him do a successful dribble where he actually dribble past a defender. I've yet to see that. Sterling used to do it all the time, and plus Sterling was good playing in central, so he's got.
But but again, Gittens reminds me of Sancho. He's that player who probably needs somebody else to do some quick 1-2 with him. And when you look at it, I said Hato was playing there. Hato was playing in an advanced role. Hato, even when he was in Ajax, he was playing as a centre back. That's why when you said that you would play Achimpong, I was like, we already have 4 centre backs. Now we want to remove one centre back and play a full back. And if you play Gusto, he can advance forward towards the right, then allow Fernandez to play towards the left. And if Fernandez plays towards the left, he will actually give that combination play with Gittens. So sometimes, yes, Gittens is not great, but who is he playing with? Because as a winger, you also need a fullback or a number 10 who's looking to underlap and link up with you.
But the first goal there, the first goal they scored. Not who was to blame there?
Tosin. The way he got diced up was so bad. It's
I
like
know
the
who.
second or third
Let's
time.
not even talk about Tosin Mehdi, who lost the ball and who was near to counter press that ball. Because somebody had an opportunity to get the ball, look up and play that pass.
I actually don't remember who it was.
I don't remember. Ooh, I don't remember.
In my
Tosin was
opinion,
exposed. Tosin was exposed that he was slow. This is why I want to Achimpong. Achimpong is fast. He's young. He's got the energy. He's got fast feet. But obviously,
let
he
me
doesn't have the experience.
but
I
let me
would have
tell
played.
you something.
I would have played Tosin in a centre forward. But then again, you don't want to hear that. But and then I will still keep him in the team. But he's an experienced guy, leader. He's probably the de facto captain. But that situation there, one-on-one, Tosin didn't have. He had nothing to clutch to. He was exposed, and rightly so. But who lost the ball? Who you were saying? Who was responsible for losing the ball?
I am actually looking for that goal. But when you say Achingpong, no, I'm starting to believe what you're actually saying, because when we played Crystal Palace with Mateta, I was like, can Achingpong deal with Mateta? And he did it well. He played well. He defended well. He passed the ball well. He cleared his lines well. I think Achingpong actually defends that Tosin situation way better than Tosin. That 1v1, he does it.
This is like
I
the
know we have
second or third time we've seen like Tosin get done by the same move. I don't know if you guys remember, even in the Fulham game, the disallowed offside goal was literally the
yeah,
guy cutting
yeah,
inside. Yeah, and
yeah.
then even
Tosin's
there was another point in the same game, in the Brentford game, the same player Shade cut inside. Again, Tosin was left flat-footed, but it deflected over his leg and went over, so he was lucky that time. So it looks like he's very vulnerable to getting cut inside.
I've actually
And
got
bro,
But
a
then,
he's
but then
team.
again,
he's an
but
and
to be
like
fair to him, he did recover after that goal. He played pretty well. But then we look at the other goal.
no,
That was the other goal that when they scored a 2-2 in injury time. There, it's been going on about Garnacho this and the Garnacho that, blah blah blah, blonde hair, what. Who's been saying here the guy cannot defend. For all he can do forward, attacking, his speed and all that, yes, I'll be the first one to admit he's good. But well, when he doesn't have the ball, doing his defensive duties is a liability, a big liability. And we saw that in that game there. And he had the cheek to say, what did he write in the comments or something? Something, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next game. I don't even think Maresca will play you when you do those kind of horrible defending. But sorry, you're playing a video or something here.
Yeah. I just wanted to show you the two errors that Tosin made. So this is for the Fulham game. This is for the Fulham game. Now you see,
you'll get banned
he's
on YouTube.
Now you see, yes, just a
minute.
minute.
They'll ban you. They'll ban you on YouTube if you play the video.
Oh yeah. But this one is more like, okay, I will not play the video. I will just show the clip then. Okay, I just wanted to show there. So when you look at that position there, you see Tosin is actually at a position where if he actually shafts this player onto the other side, then what you notice is that this player will not even get an opportunity. He should show this player to the byline. But what he does next, I'm not going to play the video, I'm just going to move it. What he does next is that he's actually taken towards the other side.
Just for your own sake, because I don't know.
Look at the position that he's actually taking. What he should have done, he should have forced that player with the ball towards that other side as he waits for Cucurella to come back. But he doesn't do that. So he allows that player to get the ball there, and then that player actually turns, and then boom, he scores. That's the same thing he did against, look, you see this player, he's actually, okay, yeah, you are true. This is Gittens here. This is the player who makes the pass. So Gittens allows this ball to be played. Because this ball is played here. Now it's 1v1. Then now Tosin is actually looking to make that run. The ball is now being played here. And then you can see now Tosin is actually standing on ground. And then you can see that this player is having the ball in this position.
He's had a couple of chances already.
Just like that. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
I mean, yeah, I think, look, man, if from an experience point of view, you don't expect that from like your oldest defender in the team. And I agree, he recovered and he played better, but we can't be having moments like these in games that could be potentially costing us points. Goals are valuable at the end of the day. Reality as a defender is very harsh. You can do one mistake and that's your team gone. I know Tosin is good, but I feel like Maresca needs to work with him on that. And at the same time, I feel like maybe we should look at other options sometimes, because Tosin looks like he doesn't have the legs. Because even when he turns, right, like when you see these players cut inside, Tosin looks like he's very stiff. He looks like he's turning like a train, So I think
it's made of timber. It's made of British fine timber.
Yeah.
Mahogany from the DRC, Isaac knows it.
Yeah, so I think, I feel like Achimpong in that position, I'll admit, I think he would do a better job, definitely. I think, Tosin, he looks like a player who would have thrived under Tuchel in like the middle of a back three. And we do play a back three, but I think on those positions, 1v1, we need to give him more cover or play someone else. So that's just my points on that. You can see why Maresca might have wanted another centre back. I think, though, that's more for Colwell than Tosin.
Christian. Oh, he's probably. Yeah, probably is. Yeah. So it is. I've always been a huge fan of Tosin. That is something that a lot of people know from this channel. I've always advocated for him playing, but now I come to understand why Maresca has always preferred Colwell over him. That's why when Colwell got injured, Maresca kept on saying we probably need to sign a centre back. But the board were like, no, we have internal solutions. Do I think Benua would have defended better? No. I don't think
No,
Beno also defended better in that 1v1. He's also quite pathetic in those situations. Now, if this thing has happened twice, it happened with Fulham, it happened with Brentford. What makes you think that Manchester United are not going to have Mbeumo actually making those runs? And Mbeumo is quite good. 1v1 against Tosi.
and Cunha.
And I don't think Cunha is available, but probably he may
Oh
be.
yeah.
You see? So what
You
makes you
know,
think that? Yeah,
because last year I think Burma scored a similar goal against us when we played them. If
yeah.
I'm remembering correctly, yeah, I think he cut inside and he shot. I don't know. I think that's a weakness in his game. Weirdly, Tosin, as much as I like him, which doesn't really make sense because the first thing you're always taught, even like defending basics, is push the guy out wide, like push him to the touchline, keep him away from the field. So it's surprising to see a player of his experience make mistakes like that, to be honest. But maybe it's a flaw of the system that exposes him. I'm not too sure. What do you think?
I don't think it's a flaw. The way he allowed that player to span him, oh my god, that was bad. Honestly speaking, that was bad. Because he was in the right position. If you've seen the clips that I've shared, he was in the right position. He actually made ground towards him. It's not like this player bypassed him and he was 1v1 with Sanchez. No. He made ground. Then he actually forced the player to go towards the byline. You always force them. If it's a right-footed player, you force him towards his left foot. Because if you force him towards your left foot and you're actually standing there preventing him from turning, then what you're doing is that you're going to force him to actually go back and pass the ball. But what Tosin does is that he's in the right position and he still allows that player to turn and actually cover ground. And that's where I have a problem with him. You cannot get spun like that.
Do you think?
Even I
Okay,
play
this
like
is
a defender in Sunday League and I don't do that.
yeah. That's why. Okay, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but you know how there's some games are like match fixed, right? Do you think? I don't know. Maybe we could do stuff like that. Because that's
Uh,
very weird. That's very
then when
weird,
when
Tyrone.
when are
Like,
they going?
that's very
Ah,
weird.
come on, man.
Seeing it too.
Come
I
on.
It happens quite a lot. Like we don't know it, but like I remember even watching a documentary. It even happens at the top level, and it's very odd. Like when you think about it, a 29-year-old rook defender or 27 doing something like that. I don't know. It's a bit dicey. That's just my take on it.
If if if
What do you guys
if
think?
your theory if your theory was if your theory was to make sense, the only one who so-called match fixing would be Maresca with his lineup, how can I say it, with his arrogant, with his useless lineup. And then you think, this guy's trying to lose the game or something, because that lineup he started with was just not good enough. And but you're going back to something you said very interesting. It made me laugh. Because you're talking about that other guy. That's I always think him of like what a super tank is, a ship. The oil, those big, those big oil super tankers.
A
Yeah,
trailer.
Hello,
A
yeah,
trailer.
hello.
yeah. We can
We
hear
can
you.
Yeah,
hear you.
I was saying, those oil super tankers. Yeah, you know how slow they are to turn. They have to turn. It takes them like 20 kilometers or something before they can actually make a turn. So if you look at
Yeah,
Badiashile, he's the same thing. He's the same like a super tanker. He's very very slow in turning, but he's strong and powerful and all that. But he's just very very slow. And our next game, we're playing Man United, and Man United got a striker, Sesko, whatever the name is, another slow. So the clash of the titans, Badiashile versus Sesko. Who's going to be the slowest of those two there? I don't know why Man United bought that guy there. It doesn't make any sense because he's slow. He's just very slow, but. Then again, they got said they still got. I watched even though they got humiliated by Man City, but if you watch the last 20 minutes of Man United, they actually played pretty well, and they created a lot of chances. So don't underestimate them. I know you're thinking, they're useless, they finished and all that. But that is another big banana skin waiting for Chelsea, because United, as Mr. Tyrone always says, only when Chelsea arrives do they play well for whatever reason. And so I'm not looking forward to this other game with United. I think if we
I
drop
was
points, that's
actually you are 100% correct. I was like, we better win the Brentford game and the Bayern game. I will take a draw on Saturday because I know what is coming. This is the thing, that you are a Chelsea fan and you just know they're not going to turn up away at Old Trafford. I don't know what's wrong, but we might even lose our unbeaten at Old Trafford on Saturday. And that's a
Yeah,
possibility
yeah. I don't
because I
know,
don't.
bro. I
But
feel like,
if we drop points there, then the title's definitely over, because and we already 4 points behind, and 4 points suddenly you are 6 points behind, or maybe even seven.
7 points.
Then that is in this Premier League, 7 points you're playing catch up, and it's almost impossible. The other top teams not dropping. And Man City actually look very good. They look like a reborn team yesterday. So even them, you
Yeah,
don't write them off, because everybody's been writing Man City. They say they're finished. They're finished. I don't believe so. I think that they're slowly trying to find their confidence, slowly find their feet. And once these players, there's a lot of new players in that team, once they're really gelling, I think Man City could be back. But Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, those three there, those are juggernauts. And it's even Spurs. Even Spurs look pretty good. I know they lost against was it Bournemouth or something, but that was just a
yeah,
freak one-off. So even they are looking pretty good. But that boy, you saw why Chelsea didn't want to buy him. That guy,
Xavi
that's what
Simons.
was crying. He looked very average. Looks so average.
never never
He
be
was
fooled by
average.
never be fooled by Bundesliga players.
I'm telling you, he was average. I mean, it's the same thing with Goalkeeper. Nobody wanted him apart from Arsenal and Siemens, and nobody was going to. Everybody wanted him, but they weren't going to pay that price because he's not worth that price there. And it's a shiny toy which Chelsea just they refuse to pay silly money anymore, which is good. Give all these young players we have a chance. We have another season where we are mid whatever we are sort of treading water. It doesn't matter. Let these young guys develop. Give them a chance. Let them grow. Let them mature. Then we'll have them for the next 10 years. And but this business of just always chopping and changing, you don't know who's coming, who's going, and it's messy. Look at Liverpool. Basically the same team. Okay, this season at least they've had to change, obviously due to unfortunate circumstances following death, following people getting old and being sold and what have you. So they brought in quite a few players, but even the ones they brought in, I've not been convinced. That guy, Wurz or Vets or Vids or whatever his name is, he's not convinced me. That
He's not.
guy
He's
with the
not
blonde hair, the French guy, who?
Ekitike.
Ekitike. Ekitike is done well.
He's good.
Ekitike.
He's good. He's good.
He's okay, but he's not quite Salah. He's not quite Firmino. He's not quite Diaz. He's not quite on that level. He'll grow into that level there, but the only thing he has is height, and
No,
obviously
he's
he's
I
got
also
a little
quite
bit
mean,
of
strong.
speed. But
He's also quite
he
strong.
has
he's right.
4 goals already.
Yeah, he's strong.
So they have, but you can see the way they're winning, not very convincingly, and it shows that the players they brought aren't that good compared to the ones they've lost. And but the still is that if you look at the squad, that team there is still basically the same team, power 3 players, maybe new players. Otherwise, but look at Chelsea. Every season, we don't know. Sometimes when the season starts, who's this guy? Never heard of him. Where did he come from? We've got to take time to learn, and we've got to listen to Tyrone do his research and tell us who he is and all his stats and all that. And then just when we learn, just when we know who he is, the guy's sold. And so, what was the point? What was the point? And it's very frustrating for me.
No, I
I'm sad.
agree.
I told you that guy was a good player,
He's a good player.
excellent
He's
player.
playing week in. He's
But
playing week in. And I always kept on seeing him scoring very good goals. Just go and check his goals. This player was one of our best finishers. That was one underrated part of him. Hall was not that player who was missing chances. Just go and watch all his goals at Chelsea. Even the goal he scored in the Club World Cup.
like him now.
He chipped it as well. You don't really see that
He
from
was
midfielders.
Even the ones he
Yeah.
scored
And you see
at Everton.
but you can see how him and Grealish are now striking up quite a good partnership in midfield there. And Everton has gone from being the grey mouse where nobody took notice, nobody noticed if they were even in the league, to now suddenly they're quite a toxic team. There's no more easy 3 points there anymore. So it's okay. Then that goes down to coaching. It's down to coaching. Moyes is a good coach. That's not lie.
We were not winning
Yeah,
at
Moyes is a
Goodison.
good coach.
We were not winning at
Yeah,
Goodison.
definitely not.
Also looking at Chelsea, from what I'm saying, we're also not going to win at those stadiums. You know, there are those stadiums where we don't. If we are going to, if I know Chelsea this season they are going to win the league, I'm looking at winning at Old Trafford, winning away at Everton, winning away at
Yeah,
Brentford, winning away at Newcastle. And when I'm looking at all those fixtures, I'm not
Newcastle.
confident.
Yeah,
I'm not even confident that we are going to win on Saturday. I've actually even said here that we might actually even lose our unbeaten on Saturday. Are you confident that we can go to St. James's Park and beat Newcastle?
Newcastle this season seems to be they have hiccups. It's like they're still trying to find their feet and all the new players and what have you. So the time is to get them early before they find their rhythm. But they've got a good coach, Newcastle, so that is also a very good team. They're very, when they with that crowd there at St. James's Park, they can will that team on. So that is a very tough fixture. But you got some coaches.
What
Though we
about
talk about
Villa?
coaching,
What about
they're
Villa?
struggling. They're struggling.
But do you think,
I think we'll win. We'll win there. Villa. Chelsea always plays well against Villa, but Villa is struggling, and I don't know if the manager's sulking that because he couldn't get his players he wanted and what have you and all that. But this is they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle. It's just everything is going against them. But we're going back to Moyes, so you can see Moyes, the West Ham, people, no, Moyes, we want sexy football. What the hell is sexy football? He was getting results, cups, and what have you, and all that. But no, we want to play Brazilian attacking, whatever. I don't know, whatever. So they brought in the first guy. Who was the first guy? The Spanish guy. I've forgotten his name.
I don't remember.
Postecoglou or somebody, not Postecoglou. What was his name? The Spanish guy who took over West Ham. Failed miserably. Who?
You're saying the Spanish coach or Graham Potter?
Yeah, no, before Graham Potter. What was his name?
Yeah. Pellegrini.
It was a Spanish guy.
There was a
I remember him. He managed Wolves as well. Lopetegui.
Lopetegui. That's the one, not Postecoglou. But and so that guy who is Spanish, whatever, he must be a good coach. They failed, almost got them relegated. Now they brought in Graham Potter. And Graham Potter, he looks like a deer in the headlights. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's completely lost, and he's just almost like saying, "Get the hell out of, get me the hell out of here," because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He's just, you can see he's a defeated man. A bit like if you listen to the interview with the United manager, that guy, the Portuguese guy, he just sounds so defeated. Man United.
Amorim.
If you listen to his post-match press conference, the guy is defeated. He's just he's delusional.
I think
all he keeps talking about is the Arsenal game, which they lost. He says, but you saw how good we were against Arsenal, what it is. But that game was a few games ago. Why are you talking about the Arsenal game? You should be talking about this game here today. I said, what the hell is wrong with you? And he said, but the players in that game, you will laugh. But that game against City, there was two big moments which cost them the game. The one game, and which is, I have to give Tyrone his respect here. The young defender, Danish guy, he's got Dorgu. No, the Dorgu, that right back.
Patrick Dorgu, the wing back for United.
Mazraoui.
Yeah. He got bullied. Dorgu. He got bullied. He got bullied by Daka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Doku.
have seen the
Doku.
video that
Doku.
you saw the video that I uploaded.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but he got bullied off the ball there. That was physicality. When they talk about physicality in football, he was a young guy, very raw, and he didn't know, a bit like he didn't know how to physically be, and he lost that duel, the man-on-man duel, that which led off obviously to he passed the ball to that crowbar Haaland. Haaland obviously is Haaland. He's not going to miss, and that was the one. That was the one moment, and then the other big moment was on Mbuemo when he had that great shot saved miraculously by Donnarumma, where it could have been 2-1. It would have had a different game, but football's all about big moments. A few big moments in the game, and it will make or break the game. And Chelsea, we had one. Basically, they had who was this? So they had Brentford United had nothing in that game. They one big moment where he's tossing and they score, and then suddenly the crowd comes alive. They believe, and then Chelsea's on the back foot, and then we struggled, and then of course they had to bring out all the big boys. Palmer came on, and then obviously the game completely changed. That guy, yes, I know I'm not the biggest fan, but even I had to agree. Okay, he was a game changer, but maybe he came on a bit too late. He should have come into. He should have maybe even started and then taken him off, but. I don't know. I mean, if Maresca keeps tinkering with all this, if he thinks he's Pep and he keeps tinkering with the lineups and all that, this is not going to end well. It's just going to be another one of those seasons where you lose stupid games and think, why just play the balanced lineup? So one your best team. Why do you have to keep changing? It's not necessary.
Okay, I do understand. One thing I have to say is that I do understand he had to rotate because you cannot just play Cucurella every game. But I'm saying even the like rotation. But one thing I have to say about even the rotation, this is actually going back to the sporting directors, and it's saying a lot about the
Yeah.
sporting directors and the recruitment because there is one player who you have mentioned here. That one of the goals we are seeing that Sanchez should have done better. Even that goal that we conceded late on, Sanchez should have stepped out and cleared that ball. And then when you have talked about Donnarumma, then you're asking yourself, Donnarumma is a goalkeeper who's not so good playing with the ball at his feet. But Pep has reached a point where he's willing to let Ederson go, despite Ederson being a very good player when it comes to playing with the ball at his feet. Pep is changing the way he plays. He's actually getting a shot stopper, a goalkeeper. And that's what I'm going to tell you something. Donnarumma is going to save Manchester City around 10 to 15 points this season. 10 to 15 points.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because
Probably.
he's a quality shot stopper. There's even a save he made yesterday and I was like, wow, this is great. Like you can just see that this is an elite goalkeeper. Then let's look at the recruitment at Chelsea and let me just try to compare it with Arsenal. I'm even seeing a statement here that Fabrizio has written that Chelsea are exploring to sign a centre back. They are looking at young, promising centre back. So they're definitely looking for a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old. They're not
Here we
looking to
go again.
bring a centre back who's ready to play.
What's
So
the point?
it shows the ambition of the club. The ambition of the club is getting young players. And whenever we are here, we need to make some signings that are actually going to push us here. We don't make that signing that is going to push us here. No. We just make signings that are going to maintain us here.
Yeah.
Another player that I have to talk about is Eze. How did we not go for Eze? Eze is a left
Honestly, yeah, I
winger.
was thinking
How
the
did we go
same.
for how did we go for Gittens? That we're signing Gittens. Gittens is 23 years old. We're not going to go for Eze because Eze is 27. We're not going to go for Mitoma because Mitoma is 28. Why don't you just go and get Eze for 27 years and you get him for 2 years? Then you can bring in Gittens to study under him. Look at what Eze is doing at Arsenal. And I think the signing of Eze and Gyökeres might actually be the two signings that push Arsenal to actually do it this season.
I definitely agree. And like, what's the point of like buying 21-year-old center backs when you already have like Colwell and Acheampong? Like, don't you want to build those two and give them experience? Like, let's not forget, Thiago Silva really did change that defense, and a lot of players said that they actually learned a lot from him. That's sometimes what experience can do. You know, sometimes youngsters, when they come on the pitch, yes, they're hungry, but they need guidance as well. You know, I think sometimes that puts extra pressure on Maresca because he's now not just becoming a coach, he's taking on the additional responsibility of a senior player. And when your team lacks leaders like that, everyone starts blaming the manager, or they start saying, "Oh, the young players or the board." The board, yeah, you can blame them because, bro, I don't know. Can you imagine if we just got Bastoni, just Bastoni? This would be such a different Chelsea team. Just one proven name, one elite player. Like you're allowed to splash that money, man. Like you want to challenge for the title. I don't get this club sometimes, and like looking at our
I
team,
disagree. I
it's
disagree. I disagree with your statement. I disagree. For once, I disagree. I think we have the players. The squad is good. It's down to the manager's team selection. We have good defenders. Let's not lie. Our defenders are good, but he's over rotating and over tinkering, and he's still. I don't know if he hasn't found his best 11 or what. But we have a good squad. You saw even the bench the last game here. Which other teams have that kind of good bench? We have players, and we don't really need to go and find some pensioner from Italy to strengthen our defense. We already have a lot.
no. You
We have
see, the thing is, we
Fofana was
have
on the
a
break
good
actually.
squad. But we don't have a great squad. You get me? That's the difference. Like if we want to challenge for titles, I'm not saying we need to replace every position, but just one or two elite players in certain places. You get me? Like maybe just a good keeper. Like every title-winning team has
Ah,
like an elite goalie. Like look at Liverpool, they have Alisson. It's very hard to find a goalie like that. Look at Man City, they have
exactly.
Donnarumma, and we have Sanchez. Like you can see the difference, man.
Make just a minute. And also to talk about Donnarumma. It's not that Donnarumma is old. Donnarumma is just 26. I think even Sanchez is older than him. And after
Oh
winning
my
that
God.
Club World Cup, after Palmer doing what he did to Donnarumma, I don't think after that win, if we went and told PSG that we want to sign Donnarumma, I don't think they would have refused. In fact, we would have done a swap deal with Petrovic. We would have given them Petrovic and gotten Donnarumma. Imagine what Donnarumma, if you have Donnarumma as your goalkeeper at Chelsea, do you know how that even influences that defense?
Gives them so much confidence.
But
And
does he
like,
speak English, Donnarumma?
yeah, he probably does. But like, what? I mean, Nunes didn't speak
They know how
English.
they play. I don't
Yeah,
even think Enzo knows how to speak perfect English, but he's wearing the armband. He's coaching. This is the
yeah,
captain.
He leads by example. He leads by example. Enzo can do
Yeah.
no wrong, as you know. And he leads
oh
by
my
Even if you
example.
can say,
And
even if you can tell Tosin, me catch the ball, move, me catch the ball, and without, yeah, you do your work on the pitch. We catch the ball. Use the gestures. Push, ready, set piece. Move like this. Even if he has to say it in Italian. What do they say move in Italian? I know, Wedege, you can speak a bit of
yeah,
Italian.
yeah, I'm listening. I'm just trying to think what they say in Italian. Hey, vai. That's what they say in Italian. Vai. Not vai con Dios, but vai. Which move.
but yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, a goalie, yeah. And like, even, what's funny? We've somehow, like, I think I've said it before, I'll say it again. We've somehow signed two strikers and we're strikerless, technically. Like, we're playing Tyreek George up top. I don't know what we're doing. Like, Tyreek George is going as a striker. Have we seen Tyreek George? Like, look at his
Good
build.
player. Very good player.
That is not a. Yeah, he's a good player, but he's being played out of position.
No, but
Like, he should
I
not be
actually
a
think he
striker.
plays well. I actually think he plays well in that position. Sometimes I even think that Jackson is up there.
I think George just needs a haircut. That's all he needs.
No. I'm saying when Derek George plays up front, sometimes I mistake him for Jackson because he's good. He's so good. He's so good. That means he's so good.
You- and,
You've come to troll,
no, but
bro.
Tariq George, I can't imagine. why they wanted to sell him. Good player, good prospect.
He's a top player.
Not yet. He's only 19.
You saw the shot that he had. You saw the shot that he had when he came on. He actually did more than Gittens. He had a shot.
Yeah,
And
when he's on the
Kelleher
wing,
had
he's
to
good.
make a save. Kelleher had to punch the ball across. Otherwise, it was a goal. That's what I'm saying. Tyreek George, actually, it doesn't make sense on paper if you play him as a striker. But when you see him playing as a striker on the pitch, it actually works.
I mean, the manager has
Does it?
faith in him.
Yeah.
What about that other striker, Mark Gui? Are we gonna play him?
Now you need to ask yourself those questions.
Because we called him back from loan for what? Then he wasn't even on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Ah, bro, that sucks. Like, especially for the player, you know? Like, imagine being called back and then you're not even getting minutes.
That is the Jackson effect for you. Yeah, they were desperate. Chelsea was desperate, and they maybe panicked a bit. And they said, there's no loyalties in football. You're an employee of the club. Your employer tells you to get your ass back here. You have no choice. And but his time and chance will come in the Carabao Cup and what have you, these other smaller cups there. But he needs time to grow a bit. Maybe, but I think he was a good player. I saw him in the Conference League before he got injured. I thought he was very, very good. But he needs another one of those. He needs confidence. He needs time. You need to give him a good run. You can't just expect him to play one game and then light it up. That's not going to happen. He needs minutes. A bit like Gittens. Gittens also needs a lot of minutes before
The
he
problem
finds.
is we don't have the Conference League. See, if we had the
Yeah.
Conference League, we would play them. But now we have the Champions League. And when Maresca delivered, you see, the thing that annoys me with these sporting directors and the club is that a manager has delivered. How do you treat this manager? This manager has got a new top four. Remember, Chelsea were 12th. Pochettino came in, they finished 6th. Maresca came in, we finished 4th. We won the Conference League, we won the Club World Cup. This is a manager who has already shown you intent. Then how do you treat him? He's telling you that he has lost his main center back. He's asking you, get me a center back. No, we don't want to get you a center back. You do what you can. We are going to sit down and going to look for the next top shiny 21-year-old. Then we're going to sign him. So why are you signing a 21-year-old yet Achimpong is there? What are you saying to Achimpong? You see, the thing is that we are going to find ourselves in a situation where good players don't want to sign for Chelsea. Because how did we treat Viega? He's a good player. We didn't play him in his right position. Hato was a captain to Ajax. We are bringing him, then we want him to play as an attacking midfielder. He's a defender. And Maresca also needs to understand that some players cannot just play. Just that if Cucurella can play that advanced role, it doesn't mean that Hato or Viega can play that advanced role.
Yeah.
And Pep said this thing yesterday in his press conference when he was asked, do you prefer players adapting to your system or you adapting to the players? And Pep said the same. I want them to adapt to my system, but I also want my system to adapt to them. So if you have a situation where Hato is a defender, he is not a defensive midfielder, he's not an attacking midfielder, then just play him into that back three. But if Gusto is an overlapping fullback, he can overlap, he can underlap, play him in those advanced positions. If Rhys James is so good playing like this, play him there. Identify this defender can play like this defender can play like that. But Maresca just wants, if I take Cucurella out of the team, I'm supposed to bring in Hato into that Cucurella role. He's supposed to invert, he's supposed to attack. As a coach, you need to adapt with the players. That's why Viega kept on saying, I'm being played out of a position that I've never played. Why don't you just play Viega as centre back?
But maybe he thought the coach's system was the plug and play system. Take out Cucurella, just plug in what's his name, the Haito. Haito will be Cucurella, but Cucurella is the Cucurella. There's not too many Cucurellas to be found anyway in football, and it doesn't work like that. But if you saw the first half, how poor Chelsea was. Did we even have a shot on goal? I'm not even sure.
But you cannot even have it because the players who are finding themselves in attack are not attacking players. Like Hato is finding himself in that left channel to link up with Gittens. These are defender. It's like you are playing Fofana there. What is Fofana going to do in that position?
Yeah, but Fofana is trying to find his form, so he's not the one you should be looking for. Fofana is just basically trying to keep fit and stay uninjured, so he's got enough to deal with. He doesn't need to have too much on his plate. So give him time. And but I found what Mehdi said interesting right at the beginning of the program. I was while I was driving, I was agreeing with him so much I was actually clapping my hands because he was saying when Fofana is on the ball, he gets nervous. He doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't feel comfortable. He thinks that if Fofana is going to do something, something crazy. And I have the exact same feeling every time Fofana is around the ball. I think, I don't have very much faith in him. I don't know why, because he doesn't make many mistakes. But I have always that feeling that Fofana.
Body language. The body language receives the ball. I think it's more to do with the body language.
Fofana looks like he's playing football as if he's at war, bro. I don't know what he's doing.
But he's playing with fear. He's playing with fear of being injured. And then I think if you can imagine, you put yourself in his shoes. I'm not trying to defend him, but if you put yourself in his shoes, you suffer the one horrific injury after the other. That is bad enough. But even worse is the rehabilitation process. Oh my God,
It's
those
so
players
painful, yeah.
they suffer. That is probably the worst thing a player can go through is coming back, retraining. When they, those physiotherapists, they are brutal. They have no mercy. They take no prisoners because they know you have to be hard for them to come back to fitness. And that process, you read any autobiography from any former player who's had a good career. I can mention a few of them who've had some horrible injuries. The thing they mention a lot in their book and their memoirs is the road to recovery, the pain, the physical pain, and of course the mental pain. You go through before you then ready to play, and then once you on that field, you're playing with fear. You're playing with fear of being injured. You're not free. Then your body is not free, as you say. Your body language, you're mentally, you're physically, you takes a lot of games before you're back to your old self, where you can play freely. You can go into those 50-50 challenges and what have you. So that mental process of coming back to the top is a very long, hard road.
I mean, yeah, especially if you hear Morata's story. When he was back, he used to be good. We rushed him back. He had even said that he had to forcefully take injections into his back so he could play. But that aside, like, what I don't get about Fofana is when he's not supposed to be scared, he's scared, like on the ball. But when it comes to going into a 50-50, he doesn't mind if he's going to kill the guy, Like Fofana looks like he doesn't mind if his leg is gonna get stamped on, bro. He will go for that. That's why maybe he gets injured. His style is really aggressive.
Yeah, there are some players. I think even Rhys James used to play like that. I've also seen Rhys James. Rhys James has also adapted. Rhys James also used to go bullying people, throwing them off. Nowadays, Rhys James is a bit cap. One player who's playing like that at the moment is Caicedo. Sometimes he's going for some hair. You're going to break your knee. What are you doing?
I said this to you a long time ago. Now you finally woke up to what I was saying. And that guy, Caicedo is an accident waiting to happen. That style there, it won't last. It will not last. And didn't you say he got a red card the other day against in the South America something?
Ecuador. Red card for Ecuador.
And you're saying it's an accident about to happen. Oh my God, I don't want
accident waiting to happen, because that is not sustainable. You cannot keep playing that way there. At some point, you'll meet some guy with a very, how can I say, not such a good football technique or something, and he's going to do something horrible to you. Because when you play against other good players, good teams, you can play like that because they have respect and they're not going to stamp you or something. But if you play, let's say if you're playing in another team which is not such on your level, and this is when if you play reckless like that, you're asking for trouble. And it's the same with Fofana. And I didn't think about. Well, I just only now with Mehdi said it. I just didn't think about that. He's also very reckless. He doesn't look after himself. You look
I
at the.
just hope he doesn't get. I've also seen Rodri. Rodri is also playing cautiously. I've seen the way Rodri is playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cautiously. Like I
And
don't have to
guys,
drive to this. I
like
don't have to drive to
if
this. I'm just
you
watching.
if you guys remember our best midfielder, like in the last decade, is Kante. You remember how Kante used to play, but also remember his fitness record as well. It was awful.
But I think
He
Caicedo
was,
is getting away with it because he's young. The minute
and
you
we
cross the age
dominate the
of
ball
25,
more.
yeah, and also we keep the ball a lot. But the day Caicedo is going to cross the age of 25, he'll have to change his game.
But look at
Yeah,
that. Look
definitely.
at. He could learn. We could learn a lot from Thiago Silva. He could learn a lot from John Terry. Now these guys, they knew how to look
They did,
after themselves. They knew how
yeah.
to look after themselves. They knew how to look after their body. They knew how to not to get injured, because obviously with age comes wisdom. Not always, but most people, the older they get, the more wiser the more wiser they become. Some they actually become more stupid, but normally,
Yeah,
generally, generally with age comes wisdom, and you should learn from experience. So even John Terry, didn't he have a bad injury one time? I think he had one bad injury, and when he came
Yeah,
back.
a head injury.
Yeah, so when he came back from that, he wasn't so reckless. He wasn't so ruthless. He
Yeah.
began to think. He began to think. Nah, it hurts. It hurts. I don't want to go through that process again. And this is
we
you
also had
learn.
Matic. We had Matic. We had Makelele.
But
Makelele
you
joined
see,
Chelsea at 13.
one thing I have to say is that also sometimes it's also about the role that Caicedo has been given. Maresca is playing him as the solo midfielder. He's supposed to cover the entire ground because
It's a
Fernandez is
lot of
going forward.
work, yeah.
Fernandez is going forward, and he is a good player, but he needs
Bro,
somebody.
he's lovely, but he's not agile, man. My God, you think Torsten's bad at turning? Watch Enzo turn, bro. It's like watching a movie in slow motion. My God.
Enzo doesn't even win his 50-50 tackles. Have you ever seen Enzo going for a tackle? Oh my God,
Oh
he
my
gets
God.
banned.
Yeah.
He just goes and puts his foot and he's nutmegged and he's left for dead. And now Caicedo has to move. You see, Caicedo is running and then Caicedo makes a tackle and then you see Enzo is clapping. Are you clapping? You're giving Caicedo a lot of work.
Leave Enzo alone. Why are you picking on him? Why are you picking on? I'm not laughing. I don't even know why you guys are picking on Enzo. Enzo, the only creative player. Okay, he was pretty useless in that game against Bretford. Let's be honest. He was one of many. If you gave player, I'm interested to hear. Did you do a video for player ratings?
No.
But if you were just while sitting there, if you were going, I'd be interested to hear your Chelsea player ratings for that game there. That would be very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, he will also give yours.
No, I want to hear you're the professional, so I like to hear your opinion.
Okay, if I'm giving my player ratings, I will start with the goalkeeper. I'll give Sanchez a 5 out of 10. Yeah, and
Yeah, I
I'm
think that's
generous.
harsh, bro.
Very harsh. Okay.
No, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 because for the second goal, he should have actually. I know he's looking like he was being pushed, but he should have actually fallen down. There's a way goalkeepers do it because they're always protected. I think he should have done better there. Centre backs, Tosin. I will also give Tosin a 5 out of 10. It would have
Should
been
be
a
a
7
4.
out of 10. No, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Other than, you see, the thing about a defender is that you can play so well for 85 minutes, and then the last minute, you make a silly mistake, and then you lose the game. You see, that is the bad thing about playing as a defender. You can play well for 85 minutes. Then the 5 minutes you play horribly, and you get a bad rating. So, I can give him a 5. Fofana, 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Chalobah, I think Chalobah would give him a 7 out of 10. I think he's probably our best defender. He's playing quite well, considering how the club treated him, and he was so humble. That's why he's Jehovah's son. He's very humble. That is what he says.
Yeah.
That is what he says. He says his
Yeah.
Jehovah's son. I'm like, okay. Ato, I can't blame the player. He was being played out of position, 6 out of 10. Caicedo, 9 out of 10. No, in fact, he scored a
Yeah.
goal, 10 out of 10. He did his
10 out
job.
of 10. Okay, wow.
Yeah, he did
Okay.
his job.
I
He
mean,
scored a goal,
yeah,
and
he
even
was
when you
our
look at the
best
goal,
player.
he didn't do any mistake. Didn't do any
You know what
mistake.
sucks is that we're not even talking about that goal. That was
And
such a good goal.
it was a good goal, and he played well. You know, that's what I'm telling you. He played well. The entire team was poor, but he played well. And he's the player who
Yeah,
actually traveled. He's a player who actually traveled for 15 hours. He just rested and then he's on the pitch. And he still put up a 10 out of 10 performance. And you have
bro,
players
this
like
guy is
Josie
annoying, man.
who are on holiday during the international break. Caicedo gets a red card, gets into the plane, takes 15 hours, he rests, the following day he's on the pitch. 10 out of 10 performance.
Mental. Yeah,
Bonanote, I give him a 6.
you forgot Enzo.
Enzo.
Enzo. 6 out of 10. I don't think
Nine.
he was 6 out of 10.
It's so harsh, man. Okay.
Pedro Neto, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Or even an 8.
Yeah,
The only
Yeah.
nah,
attacking
seven,
player
seven,
who
seven.
was trying to do something. João Pedro, he had an assist, by the way. I'll also give him a
Yeah,
7 out of 10. Gittens. Gittens best friend. I'd be
minus
generous.
one.
I'd give him a 5 out of 10. He also lacked a player who would play with him in that position. Now the subs, Palmer, 8 out of 10. There's a chance which he should have scored. There's a chance that he was given there by Neto. João Pedro allowed the ball to come to him. He should have scored that. Would have been 3-1. We would have probably be sitting here speaking something different. 8 out of 10 because he missed that chance. Who came on?
Reece
Chris
James
James.
and Cucurella.
Chris James was the one who headed the ball for that throwing. He should have left the ball to actually go across. So he headed the ball trying to pass it to Neto. And because of
And
that
the
mistake,
second goal is also his fault a little bit.
yeah, 7 out of 10. I think he did well when he came on. He was actually contributing to our attack. Who's the other player who came on?
Cucurella.
He played well. 7
George,
out of 10.
George, what's his name? George.
George, my number 9, 7 out of 10.
And the final one, and the final one, Mariska.
Garnacho.
Then okay, sorry,
He
Ganacho,
contributed a lot.
Ganacho, and then Mariska.
Kanachi got an assist, by the way.
Oh, he didn't get
And
an
then the
assist.
manager.
He didn't get
Kanachi
an
got an
assist.
assist for the Caicedo goal.
Ganacho got an assist.
It was an assist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that there's a player who got the ball, then he... Okay, if it was an assist from Garnacho, I would give him...
come on, he just passed the ball back. Relax.
It's still an assist in the stats.
still an assist. So I would give him... somebody's giving Enzo an 8 out of 10. I don't know.
You see, this guy, who's this guy? Who's a very clever guy, very intelligent guy. Tell him he's a very intelligent man. 8 out of 10. If you hear my ratings, I was going to give him a 9, but okay. You know,
You have given Jackson a 10 and he's in Bayern. So
Jackson and Enzo, those two guys, the 9s and 10s, always 9s and 10s.
Enzo. Okay, Enzo, I would give him an 8 because the goal that Palmer scored, it's actually a cross from Enzo. That João Pedro heads it on the path of Palmer, and then Palmer scores.
So you got to give George and Mariska.
I've revised it. 7 out of 10 for Enzo. 7 out
George.
of 10.
What about George and Mariska?
George, I've given him a 7. Cucurella, I've given him a 7. Garnacho, I didn't give Garnacho. Garnacho, considering he made that assist.
But he's defensive, but he was at fault for the goal.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he was at fault for the second goal. So for his second goal, I'd take away 3 points. I would give him a 6 out of 10.
Oh yes,
I would give him a 7 or an 8 if we probably won, but 6 out of 10. Somebody's saying George 5 out of 10. Oh, You see, with George is that you don't know what he's doing. He was okay. He was okay. He was okay.
And the manager.
Manager Maresca, I would give him a 6 out of 10. You don't start with that back line. You cannot play 4 centre backs. You need to play at least one full back.
Tyrone, you are generous with your ratings, bro.
Very generous. Very, very generous. So
Yeah.
some of us are we are wicked people. We have some bad ratings, but
Yeah.
so I'm for Sanchez. I think I'll probably give him a 7 because I know you guys all hate Sanchez, but I would say 7. For Fana, considering that his current state, mental state, physical state, I think he did very well. I think definitely a 7 because he's on his way back. For our friend, our friend Chalobah, that definitely 8. Very, very good player.
Jehovah's Son was good. Jehovah's Son.
He's improving. He's becoming very, very, very good. He's becoming so confident. And who played against him? Who played with him? That guy, Tosin. I like Tosin. I know what he thinks, but he didn't have the best of games. But I'll probably give him a 7. I think he should be playing up a centre forward. But okay. And Haito, a very unfair treatment to expect him to be a left back, attacking left back when it's not his role. I know they say professional players should be able to play more than one position, but I'll be fair to him. His first full start, I'll give him a 7. Caicedo, I'll give him a 9. Enzo, give him a 9. Maybe heading towards 10. And then
why can't you give Caicedo a 10? And Caicedo did his job and he also scored a goal.
But Caicedo is not an Enzo. And then
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. If you are to choose, okay, I don't wish this on any player. If you are to choose, if we missed Enzo for around 3 months this season, or we missed Caicedo for 3 months this season, who are you picking?
I would cry if Enzo would have to wait for 3 months. I would stop watching football. So basically, I will stop watching football. If Enzo's not he's away for 3 months, I'm not watching Chelsea. And it's as simple as that. But Pedro Neto, I was a bit very disappointed. I think he was anonymous in that most of that game there. He did only to when Palmer came on, so he didn't do enough for me. I think he's got much more. He's got much more in the tank. He's got much better 6 because I've seen him play much, much better. So I was not happy with his performance. Then we had your friend there from Brazil up front there, again, lightweight. He didn't have João Pedro. He didn't have his best game. Well, definitely a 6. And
no, he gave an assist. He had an assist.
But he had an assist. He had one sort of like half shot, but I just think he didn't do enough. And he's some games where he's so exposed that he's not a centre forward. He's a more build-up player. But anyway, I'll be 6, heading towards 7. Gittins, you said something very important, Mr. Tyrone. He didn't get very much support. He's almost like pass the ball to Gittins. There's 3 defenders around him. What do you expect the guy to do? He's got no way to go. He's got no way to pass, nobody to pass to. So he was unfortunately left exposed. He was left exposed with no help. So we have to be a little bit fair to him that he didn't. It's easy just for us to throw him under the bus because we think he's not good enough and all that. But he also needs support. He can't do everything by himself. So I'll give him a 6 or heading towards 7 because he tried, but if you surrounded by 3 defenders and you've got no way to pass the ball, none of your teammates coming to get your ball off you, so you can't. What's the guy going to do? And then you had the subs. Reece James, who should have started. Definitely 7, even though he was at fault for the equalizing goal. And then you had Cucurella, the guy is so good, man. 8, maybe towards 9. You had Tariq George. I was so sad when I thought it was going to be sold, but I don't know, for whatever reason, the deal fell through. Thank God for that, because he's a great player in the making. He's 7, but he comes on, he's always very confident. He comes on a sub 10, 15 minutes. He doesn't care. He's almost like a proper professional. He just puts his head up and he plays with his, he doesn't sulk. He doesn't have that kind of very good mentality. And then who else? Am I missing one more? Garnacho's. Obviously, it's a bit unfair. It's a bit unfair to judge him. It's a bit unfair to judge him with such a short period. He only played 15 minutes, so which is the sample size is not long enough. So let us be. I know I'm always beating Garnacho's drum there, but I'll be fair to him. He needs a few more minutes. He needs maybe to start a game or something. So Garnacho's, I'll give him because he was at fault for the defending there. As you said, also Sanchez maybe a bit also to blame. So 7. I'll be fair, 6, 7 because he had the assist. And then the manager, terrible team selection, 4. At least, but okay, now that's not true because at halftime he changed it. That team came alive, so we have to go for 6. But the first half, the manager, it was 4. Second half, the 6, heading towards 7.
Okay, now before we even look at that, now let's just take around 10 minutes and look at that Bayern Munich game. So I would like to hear Mehdi and then yours, and then we can see, because now that is now the next test.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose. I'm sorry, but I do think we're gonna. I think Bayern. I don't remember, there was a video that I didn't click on, but apparently they've done something innovative with football. I don't remember what it was exactly, but they've kind of changed something. I don't remember what. Looking at them, they do look scary. Diaz has been on fire. Odisse has been on fire. Kane's been on fire, and I personally think that this year they're gonna go and win the Champions League. So yeah, I think we're gonna lose. I think we're gonna lose around 3-1 or something like that. Maybe even 4-1. To be honest, I do think Bayern are that good. I do think Bayern are that good. Genuinely,
I agree 100%.
I think people are sleeping on Bayern quite a lot.
I think probably if we lose 2-1, 2-1 or 2-1,
Nah, I think we're underestimating them. The only thing that I might be optimistic.
I'm not underestimating them. I saw them playing with PSG, and PSG beat them. And we beat PSG. It all depends with the approach that we have towards that game. Yes, I know they will be at home. I know they are a good team. I'm not scared we can lose that game. That one I've not said. We can lose that game. But I think Chelsea can beat any team that we play again. I think we have on a day, not I'm saying consistently, but I'm saying on a day we can beat a good team. On a day we can beat a good team.
I know, but I don't think that day is gonna be our day. And I think we're gonna lose 4-1. I think Odisse is gonna score. I think Kane's gonna get a brace, and I think some weird defender that you never heard of is gonna score.
Olise is going to be inside the pocket of Rhys James. No.
Cucurella.
Yeah. I'm not scared. The only thing that I can be scared about is probably the centre backs. But the fullbacks I'm not scared about. But if we are losing that game, probably, I know Jackson will probably put up a man of the match performance when he comes on. To prove a point.
Is he not cup tied? I think he can't play against Chelsea.
No, he will play.
No, because he hasn't played for us in the Champions League yet, so he can play.
But one thing you're overlooking, Mr. Tyrone, is this new Bayern team here. By the way, a great manager, company. You can say what you want about it, but I think he's good. He's a up and coming great manager in the making.
Yeah.
But I also think that if Maresca would have gone to Bayern Munich, he would have still replicated.
No, that's not true.
True.
Your beloved son there, Thomas Tuchel. You see how you're flopping badly at
Tuchel, let me tell you something. Tuchel has never been a league manager. He's a tournament manager. I think he can. If the World Cup comes, he's one manager who can win England the World Cup because he thrives in those cup competitions. But when it comes to the league phase, I'm telling you, Maresca is good. But when I look at the kind of managers that we've had, Maresca is good. We haven't. I don't think there's a game that we have lost more than 3 goals when we are playing with Maresca. I think the worst defeat is the 3-1
Lost
defeat.
to Brighton 3-0.
But hang on. look at the way Chelsea plays. They like to be ball dominant. They like to attack with numbers. And look at the way that Bayern team has been built up. The Bayern team has been built up in counter-attacking football. They've just put this added Diaz, fast player. They've got Olise. They've got this other guy there. What the hell's his name? He played in England at one point. They've got, no, he's injured. The other guy is a great dribbler. Who?
Gnabry.
No, not Sergio Gnabry. There's another guy. He's a great, very good dribbler. I've forgotten his name. But then you've got Harry Kane.
I'm going to make this bold prediction. I actually think we'll win.
Okay. I'll be keeping receipts.
I think we're going to win. You know why I'm saying we're going to win? If we are able to sort out let me just say this. If we are able to sort out our defense, if our defense is going to play well, we are going to win. Because unlike Brentford, unlike Crystal Palace, Bayern will come to us. So we are going to get space. Neto is going to be... If we play pacey players up front, I think that game suits Garnacho very well. Garnacho and Neto.
That's true.
Then you have Palma and João Pedro and Fernandes. Even Fernandes is going to now have space to pick a pass and play balls over the top. Chelsea always play. Look at the Club World Cup final. Look at all our goals. It was always through the counter.
The key player will be Pedro, not Pedro Neto, but Pedro. The original Pedro. The strong one, the strong Pedro. That one there. I'm getting very confused with Pedros in our team here, but Neto.
Neto will also be good because Neto likes to make those runs, and because he's so fast, he always stretches those defense. And if Bayern Munich come to play with that, no, let me tell you the truth. If Bayern Munich come to play with that high line against Chelsea, I'm telling you, you're going to be shocked.
But Neto's fast, but they have Alphonso Davies, bro. He's really fast.
But Alphonso Davies will be covering whoever is going to play down the left. And if we say that you're going to play Estevao down the right and then we are going to play Neto down the left, then Davies is much more concerned about Neto. So he will be looking at Neto. And then Palma will be free, because if you are playing with a high line, you're giving Palma that space. And when you give Palma that space, Palma now has a chance to make those passes. In my opinion, it's a game.
You sound very excited, man.
I'm excited because even the Brentford game, we are saying like, okay, the Brentford game was this. But it was a lapse of concentration. If probably Garnacho checks his man, then we don't even concede that goal.
I agree. I mean, what you're saying is true. I mean, the way they play does suit Chelsea, but at the same time, there's just something they've tweaked. I don't remember what it was, but like, you know how every football tactic has an evolution. It went from like having inverted fullbacks to having a box midfield. I don't know. Bayern have brought something new. I don't remember what it was. So I think that's what's going to really surprise us, basically.
I don't think so. We are also a bad team in the competition. We might be out of the title race. Maybe we might even be out. But Chelsea is that team that can be out and win the Champions League.
We were sixth and we won the Champions League.
Now we can win it. Why can't we win it? Okay, but I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that I'm expecting us to go and beat Bayern. But you guys saying that we are going to lose 4-1. Some are even saying we're going to lose 4-0. You're being emotional.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot of cracks in this team which are being papered over, and Bayern probably will expose those cracks in this team here. And
I agree.
We haven't met a good team which has exposed us. But there's a lot of cracks.
Why didn't PSG expose us?
Because PSG, for whatever reason, that they didn't show up on that day there.
No,
it was match fixing, bro. It was match fixing.
Don't throw me under that. Don't throw me under that bus. I want no part of that. I want to connect. I'd like to write a letter to the management. I have no opinion about this. Whatever Mr. Mehdi just said, I don't even want to mention that word. So I don't subscribe to that notion. So just to make sure the manager knows that I have nothing to do with that. So that's that theory, that horrible theory. Because if it's true, it's the death of football. And
Yeah, so I don't think that is something to do with that. Okay, in my opinion, I think we can win a 2-1. But if we are losing, I think we can also lose a 2-1. I don't think we a 4-1. It's crazy.
but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. This is one of those games you can afford to lose. That's towards
You know,
basketball.
Yeah.
if somebody asks me to lose to Bayern or to lose to Manchester United, I'd rather lose to Bayern than Manchester United because losing to Bayern, losing to Bayern, at least you can say that, okay, they are a good team. Now imagine losing to Manchester United. Yeah, it is terrible. That is so terrible. It is a team that everybody is collecting points from. They're so poor. Their manager has given up. The players don't care. And you're going to lose to them. Oh my God. And I know Chelsea are going to play horribly at Old Trafford, but please, just don't lose. I will even accept a draw, by the way. I will accept a draw. Just don't lose.
Imagine the level of banter. What will happen if Chelsea does lose to United? Oh my God! I'll go off social media for a week. Because they're gonna make fun of us because nobody, as you said, Man United is a gift that keeps giving for whatever reason. They beat Burnley and they were celebrating like they won the World Cup, and that's how deep they've fallen. I mean, for Chelsea to come there to make them strong, and even worse, Chelsea will get there, get them 3 points, and then Man United goes on a run. And where's Man United on the table? It's what 3 points. How many points behind Chelsea?
They're around 4 points behind us.
So basically a win there, and they're in the same neighborhood with Chelsea, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then they're going to run. They have good players. United have good players. Let's not lie. They have a decent squad, good players, but the manager is very stubborn. He wants to stick to his back five or whatever it is.
Like if the manager moves to a back four, I think they might be doing something, and then he moves Bruno into that number 10, but it's not something that he's going to do. But we can't lose that game. It's better even he plays the Hatos and the Achingpongs and all the squad B tomorrow, and we lose to Bayern, but we win that United game.
Okay, but if common sense prevails and Chelsea smash them, I think the guy he'll be fired.
Yeah, I think he'll be fired, and that is if he makes it. That is if he makes it.
I'm telling you, Chelsea are the type of team to beat Bayern, draw with United, and then lose to Sunderland.
And you see, the thing that has stopped Chelsea from winning titles, it's failing to beat these teams. It's failing to go Brentford and away and winning. It's failing to beat Crystal Palace at home. It's drawing to Nottingham Forest at home. It's losing to Everton away. It's Liverpool. They don't always have to play well. They don't have to play well. They just play. They get a penalty. They just play. They score something towards the end. Liverpool now, they are just getting points based on luck. Liverpool are top of the league based on luck at the moment.
And you know that if Salah had missed that penalty, the referee probably would have asked the thing to be retaken.
Yeah.
You would have found some infringement. The guys with the hair nostrils in the box. Sorry, take it again.
So you guys do agree there is match fixing?
No, I'm not saying that I do agree, but there's a way there's a way the refereeing body is carrying itself that you find that there's a way the banditry and everything just suits Liverpool. You can see there's some form of biasness towards Liverpool, even the way they talk about Liverpool. But okay, they have been good. They have won the league. Probably if we were dominant the way Klopp was with Pep, maybe they would be talking the same about Chelsea, but we haven't been dominant in a while. We are now entering our seventh year without a league title? Our 7th year, our 8th season, our 7th year without lifting the Premier League.
That's crazy.
And when we are supposed to make a step forward, we are not We are not going to get Bastoni. We are not going to get Donnarumma. We are not
Or
signing
Rafael.
players to push us to the next level. No, we don't want that. We want a 21-year-old center back. No, we don't want that. We want a 19-year-old goalkeeper. No, we don't want that. We want a 10-year-old mid. That is what we are saying.
They bought one
You're
player
saying
from.
Arsenal,
They've actually bought a 13-year-old from South Africa.
you
I
see,
said, yeah,
Oh,
it's true. A 13-year-old. They bought a 13-year-old Chelsea.
oh my God.
It's
see
true.
Beast has written something here on X. He has said that we have given Noni Madueke 3 years experience in the Premier League, made him learn how to play in the Premier League. Then we have sold to them Noni Madueke as he's entering into his prime. Like it is the way Manchester City did with Palmer. They gave him an opportunity, then they sold him to Chelsea. Now, why would you sell Madueke to your direct rival? I thought we were selling to Arsenal 30-year-olds.
Yeah, it's true. But that is, they got, as you said yourself, if you go back to what you've been saying previously, why they're buying these 21-year-olds, 19-year-olds, it's all about profit. So, they buy these
Yeah.
young players cheap and then they can sell them off for a profit. And by Dueke, the amount of money Arsenal offered was so eye-watering that the temptation to cash in was so great. There's no, you know what, screw this, take the money and run. And because they didn't expect Madueke, they thought Madueke he's hit his level, he's not going to improve, he can't go any higher. But not knowing that good coaching, you can squeeze more juice out of that lemon. And Teta he's at Arsenal. You can say what you want about them; they're not stupid. They were paying 55 million or whatever it is. They must have seen something that we at
But
Chelsea we didn't see or we took for granted, and we've lost a good player, and he's not coming back. And he's
so now we have to expect that Estevao is going to come in and do that. Estevao was actually even sick, or probably Maresca was like, kid, I know you've just traveled from Brazil, that game is too early for you. You go and play some PlayStation. Estevao is playing PlayStation. Estevao is 18 years old. So he's even being treated like a kid there. That thing. The players are treating him like a child, even the manager. It's
I've
probably
noticed
treating
that
him
as
like
well. Yeah.
it's true. Probably being treated like a last born there. So he has arrived from Brazil and like, you don't have to play this Brentford. You go play PlayStation. You will handle this. The big boys will handle this. And
But it's
then
good. It's good. It's good player management. So you're letting him be a kid. You're not putting him under ridiculous pressure from day
yeah.
one. Where everything is on your shoulders. No, like Cole Palmer, everything was just thrown onto his shoulders. Now you just pass the ball to Cole Palmer. He'll figure out something. So you're giving this guy a
That is
chance to
what
breathe. Yeah.
that is what Pochettino did to Palmer. But Maresca has elevated Fernandes. Nowadays, Palmer is not heavily relied upon. Fernandes does his job.
Yeah.
So
Nowadays, the team relies on Caicedo, to be honest. I always
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
one Caicedo into your way, we're done.
no Caicedo, no party, because you're seeing your friend Lavia, Mr. Weetabix. He's
What about Nachos? What about Nachos?
Yeah, but that guy is, I don't know his injury history, but it's nothing compared to Lavia. Lavia, I don't know, that is a terrible mistake. It wasn't a mistake, it was a good player, very good player, but unfortunately, we're not getting value for money, which I don't know,
Yeah.
something is just not right. Something, I don't know if it's the training at Chelsea or if it's just him personally, he doesn't like being at Chelsea or what the hell's going on there, but that's not normal for him to be injured that much. I mean, even James, Reece James. No, sorry, they were doing a comparison. I was listening to on the TV the other day. This guy Fofana, out of possible 170 games he could have played for Chelsea within the last years. He's only played 35.
And one thing you also need to know about Fofana, he came before Enzo. He came to Chelsea before Enzo.
Who bought Fofana? Who paid Fofana? Who bought him? Was it Tuchel?
Oh yeah, he was bought in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the first signings, him, Koulibaly, Aubameyang, Sterling. That terrible transfer window. Remember that terrible transfer window?
And who signed Paul Palmer? Was it
No,
What's his name?
Palmer came when
Mm,
Pochettino came. Those ones are
yeah.
Porter. Players like Fofana played under Porter.
Harry Potter. Okay, yeah, that's another one. That guy,
Yeah,
he's so exposed.
there's a time 3 seasons ago, we were at the same position where Manchester United are today.
Oh my God! Don't remind me.
Yeah, but that was the time when they sold the whole team. Yeah? But they sold 13 players in one go. They got rid of the whole team when the top goalie took over. They got rid of
No,
all those expensive players, all the ones who. The one I really miss still to this day, we need him so much. This team is Gallagher. I was still my heart still hurts.
let me just be honest with you. I think that was also another mistake because we signed him so that we could sign João Felix, and we sold Felix because
Yeah. What was the point?
If Gallagher was here, he would have helped Caicedo.
There you go.
He would have helped Caicedo. So we would have a player who's naturally fit to play with Caicedo.
And
You see that?
Pochettino was vouching for us to keep him a lot,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was bored to
Pochettino
let him
vouched.
go.
He loved the club. He was handling the armband quite well. I think by now he would have matured to be a very good player. And if we could even play that role that Enzo plays, sometimes we make silly decisions as a club.
Nah, come on. Like, let's not compare Gallagher and Enzo now. Like, it's a night and day difference. Like, come on. I know he's good, but he's not Enzo. Let's slow
Yeah,
down.
but at
But
least he has the work rate. He has the work rate. He has the
the
work
work
rate.
rate, the tenacity, the stubbornness, the fighter, that fighter. The
And
thing about Gallagher, he's got that fighter mentality. That one which
He has
his
the
energy.
crackhead energy. Yeah.
I don't know about crackhead, but his energy is rubs off on his teammates, and he gets them teammates going through his actions, through his chasing,
yeah,
through his tackling, through his fighting, and that sets off the teammates. Wow! Once we have in this team, there, apart from Kaisei, I don't really see that fighter, that shithousery, that they're all nice kids, all very good
yeah.
players, but they're just
Gallagher,
too nice, just too nice. The ones we have now.
Gallagher he has that proper chills, and then he's from the academy. You know the way we like academy players actually finish.
Yeah.
He's from
Man,
the academy.
it hurt
I
to see
think,
Loftus Cheek and Hudson-Odoi fall off, man, honestly.
yeah, Gallagher would have not fallen off. I'm telling you, he would have been a very good player. I think he would have. He would actually be like now. You cannot heavily like the way we played Caicedo yesterday. You couldn't play Caicedo yesterday. We would have just told Gallagher, "You play. You can do
Yeah.
that." Gallagher can play number 10, can play 8, can play 6. He runs. If you tell him just run, just go and run on the pitch, he'll just run.
He
Run
runs
anyway.
so much. Yeah, my God. No wonder
But
Simeone took him.
the one Gallagher I never forget was, remember the goal celebration where he jumped into the crowd surfing. What game was that?
Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace.
When he jumped into the crowd and he disappeared. And that was a fantastic goal celebration. It has not been repeated ever since, but it was one of those iconic moments. I think, wow, why haven't we seen this big goal celebration before, where a player just jumps into the crowd and sort of like disappears? And that was obviously, if you imagine if you jumped in the wrong crowd with bad people, they beat the shit out of
Oh, boy.
you. Which is quite stupid, actually, when you think about it. Crazy celebration. You never should, you know, interact with the crowd that way.
Something.
Because you don't know what kind of thugs you're dealing with, and but still, it was just one of those memorable night games there where you think, wow, what a celebration. And but who in your opinion was a better manager, better style of play, Pochettino or Maresca?
Oh, Maresca any day.
Maresca. Maresca,
Maresca any
yeah.
day. Oh,
Wow.
Maresca any day. In fact, I don't even want. Have you ever seen me talking about we want a manager? He's a good manager. The
Yeah,
problem with Maresca
exactly.
is always picking the wrong lineup, or he's either substitute. He's doing the thing that you were saying, pick and plug. Is he's removing Cucurella, then he's putting in Hato, then he expects Hato to play like that is his problem. But when
Yeah,
it comes to his system, when it comes to his play, he's a good manager. I don't
yeah.
doubt he can
Oh,
win Chelsea
oh,
title.
what about Maresca versus your beloved Thomas Tuchel?
This is
For
a
me,
very
Tuchel always
huge
has a special
controversial
place in
thing.
my heart, man. But I
Let
do
me
think
tell you
Maresca is
this,
better long term.
Mehdi. I want to say this
Yeah,
bold. I want to say this
yeah,
bold. It's controversial. I
sure.
would actually pick Maresca.
Wow. Yes.
And it's not about recency. Tuchel is so good when it comes to winning things
Cup
like the
competitions.
yeah, but when it comes to building a team that can push for a league title, maintaining that consistency, and let me not even talk about Tuchel's talent ID. Oh my God, his talent ID is on the floor.
Bro,
Because
that summer it was all of him. He went to get Koulibaly, he went to get Sterling.
yeah, he was the one who was sanctioning this purchase because Todd was not a sporting director, so he was asking the manager, "Who do you want?" He's saying he wants Koulibaly, he wants Fofana, he wants Cucurella, he wants. Look at the players he
Aubameyang.
signed, Aubameyang. So he was asking for these players, but honestly speaking, Tuchel, if he was at Chelsea, I think top four is something that he could do, but I don't think he improves Fernandes. I don't think he improves Enzo. He will play Enzo deeper. It will not improve him.
But did you remember his interview after the game when they beat Man City, where we witnessed them one of the most dire football games ever, where Chelsea parked the bus and somehow they won the game. He said, "I never forget that. The players had to suffer." Okay. It's football should not be about suffering. Football should be about pleasure, enjoyment, going have fun, going to play the game, but not just park the bus,
And is
be
and
destructive.
and Tuchel is so much into tactics. And Tuchel would have won the Premier League bar our injuries. Tuchel even struggled to win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. You know, winning the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich is like winning Ligue 1 with PSG. How do you fail even winning the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich? You have the best
I
talents, you have the best budget. No, please, please. Sometimes let's see. Look at the Premier League. How do you even win the Premier League? You have to beat Pep
might
Guardiola's
be.
machine, and
Yeah.
Klopp was also there.
You
Even the
remember
Yeah,
when they used to
title.
call Tuchel Iban?
totally bad.
You see, with Tuchel, it reached a point where we had to rely on scoring one fluke goal, maybe a corner,
There
maybe
you go.
it became like we are so stale in attack, and
No,
that's why
but
when
Tyrone,
Conte came,
I'll say this. Everything was going well until Lukaku did that interview. Lukaku was doing really well until that interview. We were actually playing so solid, and then I don't know why he did that. He fell off a cliff. Ah man, our top scorer that year I think was Jorginho, right? He was scoring penalties, and then I think it was Marcos Alonso, a terrorist left back. Ah, he still gives me nightmares defensively.
the
But
no, the Jorginho top scorer was when we finished 12th. I think that season I think Mount had his best season that season. It was the
because
season we won the Club World Cup. We had this kit where it was box. So we won the Super Cup that season. The reason
Yeah, we
why we
finished
fell
third,
off,
of
yeah,
course.
we
Yeah,
finished
but
third
but
actually. We finished third.
you guys forgot that touchline fighting. Was it with Conte?
That
We
was that was now the season he got.
yeah,
No, that was the season he got sacked. That season where
yeah,
we won the Super Cup, we finished third. The reason why we lost the title that season is that he insisted on playing Rhys James and Chilwell as wing backs. And now you know Rhys James with his hamstrings. You cannot play Rhys James to be
yeah,
up and down, up and down. And the same case with Chilwell, you see. So
yeah,
instead of adapting his system where he knows that Rhys James cannot play there, and he was like Amorim, he always insisted on that wing back. He even started to play Loftus Cheek as a wing back. You have, sometimes as a manager, if you find yourself in a position where you don't have full backs, but you have many midfielders, then you come up with a system that can have many midfielders. You see, maybe you could say that, okay, we're not going to play with a full back, with a wing back. We are going to have Loftus Cheek to play as a right back who's inverting in midfield. You see, that makes sense because you're playing him in midfield. But he
Not
kept
the
on
seek was
insisting.
so good as well.
Ah. So anyway, I think we have gone for close to 2 hours. So what could you be your final remarks and your predictions for tomorrow? Start with Christian, then Mehdi.
So for tomorrow, my final predictions will be that I'll be hiding underneath the blankets watching the game. and, and I'm scared. I'm terrified of the game too against Bayern München. I think they're going to maul us, going to tear us apart. And but against, I think we'll win against you'll win against Man United, but we're gonna be exposed against Bayern München.
So
That is,
you're confident you're going to beat Man U finally at Old Trafford?
yeah. I think that's United team. Uh, Even though it could be a banana skin, but I just think that they are wounded. United is wounded, but Bayern München for sure is not wounded. They are on a wave. They are flying in the Bundesliga. They picked up from where they left off last season, and they've got even better by adding Diaz. And so that guy is going to be. We've always struggled against Diaz, so that is going to be very interesting to see how we deal with that guy. And
So you predict defeat away at Bayern Munich and a
I'm,
victory
I'm
at Old
hoping
Trafford.
for I'm hoping for a so-called honourable defeat at Bayern München. 2-1 or 3-1 max. Then that's for, in my eyes, an honourable defeat. And we shouldn't be get blown off the pitch. Just just a small defeat because we don't really need to win because with the way the format of the Champions League is now, you can afford to lose 2 games and still go through. So that it's not a do or die game, so to say. So he could even be thinking of the Man United game, for all I know. But if they play the strongest lineup, I can't see Chelsea beating Bayern. I know we're so called the Mickey Mouse Club World Champions and all that, but this is Bayern München in Bayern. So, but yeah, no. I think I'll choose the underneath the blankets for that game, and I'll watch the Man United game. And yeah, so but it's at the moment the momentum is not in Chelsea's favour. It's been going in the wrong direction, so to say. The momentum is not. The arrow is not pointing upwards; it's pointing more downwards. So we need to steady the ship. And then we need to find this positivity. We need to find this energy, and the momentum has to start going back in the other direction. And I don't know, maybe it's because we didn't have summer break and all that, but still, Cole Palmer is back. He's had had a good long rest, so he should be revving to go. So, which is a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to make any predictions, but apart from that, I think I can't see us beating Bayern.
But you see us winning away at Old Trafford.
Yes.
Mehdi.
We're gonna lose to Bayern and draw at United. United screams like 1-1. Bayern, I do think it'll be like a 2-1, but if it ended up being 4-1, I would not be surprised. Always breach yourself. We've learned that the hard way. But yeah, I think we're gonna lose and draw, to be honest. And there's gonna be some pressure on Maresca's head.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Mekin has really there's a panel. There's a comment here for you, Christian. You have a huge fan here. I think you are dropping gems today,
Why?
as usual. Then we have a 3-1 victory for Bayern. So my opinion, I'm going to
No,
go
this
with
guy is saying that we'll win 3-1, not that Bayern will win 3-1.
Okay. Okay, in my opinion, I think that Chelsea are going to win that game away at Bayern Munich 2-1 or 1-0. But I think we are going to draw at Old Trafford 1-1.
Interesting.
Taron's the only reasonable one here. Honestly.
Can I ask
the only reasonable one here.
Mehdi, I have to ask a question. You said something very interesting just now. Could you please elaborate what you meant by it? You said the pressure will be on Maresca. What did you mean by that?
Like, let's be real, us Chelsea fans, all it takes is a few bad games for us to start piling pressure on the manager. So I think if we like lose to Bayern pretty badly and with like where we actually want to be, and if we draw to a very bad United team, we'll start thinking like, is this another top four race? Is Maresca the right manager? Like I feel like me personally, I won't turn on the manager. I don't know if I can, and I know you guys won't. I don't know about the rest of the fan base because I genuinely think we're very impatient with managers. We know that from experience. So, and I think games like before will even add up the pressure where he should have won.
Honestly, I'm telling you this, unless we go on a horrible run that actually sees us in a top 6 race, that is when I can have a problem with Maresca. But even if we finish 4th this season, I will still not call for his sacking, because one thing that I have to say, some things are beyond a manager. Like, a manager cannot tell you that he wants a centre back, he wants to get a 21-year-old. He wants a full back. He has a ready-made player. You sell that player. You go and get him a number 10. Like, how did we sell Dewsbury Hall so we can bring in Bonanote? See, those are signings that don't make sense. You see, how do you sell Noni Madueke to sign Kittens?
Kittens, yeah.
You see,
Yeah,
that
okay.
is how Christian calls him. So,
Kitten, he plays like a kitten, and once he grows up, I'll start calling him Kitten.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he's
So,
okay. Then again, let's be fair to him. I mean, he's young. He's just arrived, and he's in a big club. Dortmund is a huge club, by the way. Have you seen their stadium? 82,000. I think it's one of the biggest stadiums in Europe. So he's used to big atmosphere, big pressure. And but still, Premier League is one thing, and Bundesliga is another thing. I mean, so Bayern München, it could be that they're killing everybody in their Bundesliga, but when they play a good team in Chelsea, maybe they don't. It's not so easy for them. And if they play that high line of theirs, Chelsea, as you know, we have very quick players. Maybe. But yeah, I think I choose to be a realist and prepare myself mentally for a defeat, so that I'm not disappointed if we do lose. So this is how to deal with it. It's not have big expect.
myself, I've said that if we lose to Bayern and win at Old Trafford, that's a result that I can take. What I don't want is a defeat at Old Trafford. Losing to Bayern is not bad, because you can say, okay, they are a good team. Yeah. But losing to Man United, I would be depressed if we lost to Manchester United. I don't even think I'll get any strength to even make a video about that.
But don't forget, the Man United is having a long rest, because they're not playing in Europe. So
It
they.
Oh
doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah, but it usually doesn't matter. Barcelona had a long rest day when they were going to Anfield, and they were 3-0 up. Liverpool beat them 4-0 and they qualified.
That was match fixing, and
Oh, it
Yeah, I was
was
going to say that. I was just going to say that.
no. Let me tell you something. It's actually even bad for you to have a rest. It's actually bad for you to think that you have a rest that the other team has played. It's bad.
yeah,
It
it's
can
true. I
actually
mean, it depends how long your rest is. If it's 1 week, if you've been
Manchester.
through, if you've been, sorry to interrupt you. If you've been through a mauling like the Man City here, where you were terrible and you got outplayed, they booed you off the pitch and what have you, and all that. Maybe it's good for a rest mentally, to lick your wounds physically and what have you mentally. So sometimes maybe just a time of football and just rest and recoup, and then you're ready to go. Unlike Chelsea, tough game against. If we get beaten badly against Bayern, that will carry on to the next game against Man United, who will then also just recovering from a bad loss, but have had at least a week to recover. Chelsea would have had no time to recover. This is the unfortunate thing. Now, playing already on Saturday, you're playing tomorrow, Tuesday, so there's not much rest in between games. But this is what you want in Champions League. It comes with a price. You better have a big squad. You better have fit players, because you're going to have to use all of them, because you can't expect Cucurella to play like 60-something games in the season. Not at his speed or tempo. Caicedo, another one. Enzo, another one. You can't keep playing, even though I say in Premier League I'll play the same team, but Champions League you've got to experiment. You can allow yourself to experiment one or two players, because the big players sometimes have got to have a rest. Look at Cole Palmer. He had a rest. You saw how sharp he was when he came back yesterday, day before, excuse me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, true. He had a rest. Yeah, we
it's,
could now see the Cole Palmer that we saw.
yeah, which is good. Because maybe because I think he probably was fit before, but Maresca probably thought this guy didn't have a summer break.
Yeah.
He played so many games last season. Let him have a rest. Go play PlayStation or whatever you said he was doing. And
No, he was on these parties. Yeah, I saw him putting
which
on
parties?
this Instagram, this road show kind of events or kind of things.
I thought he went back home to West Indies. He was doing something
Oh
there.
yeah.
He was doing some
It's
West
charity.
Indian.
Yeah, he's West Indian. You didn't know that?
Estevao is West Indian.
No. We're talking about Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer isn't West Indian.
He is West Indian. His father is West Indian.
His father? What? No, that's not true.
Cole Palmer, his father is a black man from West Indies.
yeah, St. Kitts Nevis.
Yeah, you didn't know this.
I knew
Oh
it.
no, that I
Maybe
knew.
did.
I thought, man, my bad. When you said West Indian, I thought you meant like the west part of India. I'm like, this guy has
No,
no
no, no,
brown
no,
in him.
no, the West Indies.
Come on.
The West Indies, like where they have reggae and salsa and
Yeah, Jamaica
coconuts
shit.
and
Yeah,
great food and natural food, by the way. And that Irie part of the world there, which dream holiday kind of thing, but it's too expensive. But that is
I can't. Yeah, I
so.
can't imagine Palmer being Indian, bro. That's not. No, 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 no.
Guys, I think now we have to end this.
Okay, and
Yeah,
your show.
I think I think Mehdi, it's he's probably 2 o'clock over there.
Almost. I mean, I'm
Oh.
not going to sleep. I can't lie.
Yeah, anyway, it was nice hearing from you. Now we can now prepare for the Bayern Munich game.
And for therapy.
Yeah. I think Mehdi is now happy. He was so disappointed. But you
You should, yeah, you should have done that after the game. That's best time to do therapy. It's right after the game. Then you get that out of the
I,
system. And then,
I also got mad. So I was like, should I do a live? And I was like, let me just go to bed. Because I was also done with work. That's the time I was done with work. So I was like,
wow. Yeah.
That's burners. I'm
Yeah, fair
sorry,
enough.
bro.
Fair enough. Yeah.
okay.
I shall make some more music, therapy music, and it's